Welcome everyone to another interview with one of our funded traders. Today, Ahmed is with us. Ahmed is a funded trader of funding pips and is here to share his journey. How are you, Ahmed? And can you please tell a little bit about yourself today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you very much. Before we start with your trading journey, can you mention about yourself, where you're from, how old are you, and stuff like that?
Sure, sure,
Basically, who
sure,
are you?
sure. I'm Mohammed Ahmed. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Australia, Sydney.
That's perfect. And how long has it been since you've been trading?
I started trading back in 2016. Actually, I got into trading through crypto when everybody was in the bull run, so I wanted to make some money into it. So I made some account on Binance, and later on, when the bull run finished, there was nothing much in crypto to do, so I moved into forex. Yeah, so I've been trading for 6 years now, and that's how it went. So
That's
I'm
quite a long
majorly
time.
traded only forex, yes.
That's quite a long time, actually. And can you share if you have lost any money in crypto? Because for people who started trading with crypto, there's always a story about them losing a lot of money and then getting back up on their feet. How was it like you?
So actually, when I started crypto, I just moved into Australia for study purposes. So I didn't had much money, so I invested like $1,000, and I made around $4,000 P&L profit. But later on, I lost it all, and the bull run was also finished. So I actually bought Bitcoin at the top. That's why I wanted to learn it and move into some other market, which was more stable because crypto is very volatile.
It is actually. If it's not the bull season, it's very hard to predict those manipulations in the market. So must
Yeah.
be quite hard. So you've been trading for 6 years, and how many years of that is trading with Forex?
Forex is around 4 years now.
That's
So
that's good.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
And how many years has it been since you've been trading with prop firms?
It's only been 6 months.
That's what I wanted to hear because it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
crazy journey, like only 6 months, and you're making quite the payouts. It's perfect. Ahmed got $3,500 of payout, which is kind of amazing. And I want to hear about this journey. How did it happen for you? Your prop firm journey. Why did you go into that direction? What made you realize that you can make much more money than crypto and using prop firms, not risking your own capital?
Sure, sure. So back in 2000, late 2017, when all the crypto thing subsided, I wanted to make money through trading, and that's when I knew that I'm gonna get into this route. So I started learning trading, general trading through YouTube. And after 6 months of that, I came to know that most of the stuff that they are teaching on YouTube does not work for me. So I started reading trading books and trading wizards. I listened to some videos through trading. I had a friend who used to work in hedge fund. So actually I just deleted YouTube because I was working on one strategy and then there was another strategy on YouTube, how to make this much money in this much time, 90% win rate. So I just deleted YouTube and I installed YouTube back again 1 year ago. And that's when I started getting ads of these prop firms. So then I thought I should get into it and just like I bought some accounts, very little money because I thought it's a scam. But now they are actually paying it out. So it was a good decision, but very late because I guess they've been here on 2020 and 2021.
Exactly. It's been a long time since prop firms are here, but there were a handful of traders who actually realized the importance of prop trading and the fact that they don't have to risk their own capital. So I think it's getting famous now, you
Yeah.
know. So it's like it's a crazy journey, I know, but can you also tell us a little bit about your prop trading journey? Is this your first payout, or have you gotten any payouts before from other firms as well? How was the journey for you? Did you make all the money that you invested in the firms?
Yeah, actually. So I had some payouts with other firms, around 40K now. So, but this prop journey was very difficult for me psychologically because I was trading on a personal account, which was like 2% to 5% risk per trade, and I was trading very less. But when I moved to prop firms, I was the other thing when I moved to YouTube, I felt like I was doing it less. Like I was trading less, I was making less money because there were other people making heaps of payouts and stuff. So it was like I'm learning trading again because of the psychological stuff. So you had to pass this account. Like I was making 3% to 4% per month when I was trading on my personal account. But now I had to make 8% in phase one and 5% in phase two. And considering the amount of money that I wanted to make because it was not my money, so I was not taking it very seriously. So that's why I lost some money. But overall, I'm in profitable now. Like my risk to reward is around, yeah, 1 to 10.
That's actually quite great because
Yes,
that's the important thing. If you see this as a business, you invest this much money, and then if you make more than you invested, then it's good for the business. So I definitely understand what you mean. And the thing is that with own capital, it's really easy to risk 2%, 5% each trade because there's no one stopping you and there is no rule against it. But with prop firms, obviously, you have to protect your capital because there are some rules. There are the account rules for like daily drawdown and the maximum drawdown. So you have to be careful. But overall, since the prop firms allows you to leverage, like it's not actually you risking 1%. That, for example, for a 100K account like yours, if you think about it, it's like, okay, you got $3,000 of payout, which is 3% of that initial balance. But the thing is, you didn't need to risk that much to get this amount of money. But with the personal capital, it's far less. So
yeah.
like it's not like we can actually risk that money to make this much money. So I definitely understand what you mean. What were some key moments in your trading journey? Some moments that kept you going or made you stop and think if you're gonna continue doing this?
So I would have a very obsessive personality because before that I was into tech and all these tech startups and
That's
IT stuff.
interesting.
So I took it very seriously, and then it was crypto. So with obsession, I mean like I was looking at the charts 24 hours, which was not healthy and which is not recommended as well. But I wanted to go into its depth. So that's why instead of going onto YouTube, I had a friend from hedge fund. So I spending more time with him and reading the books who are actually in the industry for 40, 50 years because I wanted to know how it actually works. And I just didn't want to quit because I have seen people making heaps of money, like millions of dollars per month. So I knew that if I don't make that money, it's only because my fault, and that fault will be to quit.
I can
Yeah,
understand that. And how does it
yeah.
make you feel that you can see a lot of people making so much money on social media? Does it get to you psychologically? And if it does, how do you overcome it and continue your own journey alone?
When I came to trading, this YouTube stuff, it was getting me like a lot. And that I started doing revenge trading. And there was also, when I used to look at the trades of other traders on Twitter, now called X, I was like, I can take trades on 1 minute, but my model was to take trades on 4 hours. So it used to get to me, but now it does not. And I've been immune to prop firms and their payouts for 6 months now, so I'm all right with it. And I have gone back to my original strategy, which was to make 2 to 3% per month. So I do like I buy multiple accounts, I pass them, and I just go for 2 to 3% payout every account.
I can
When
understand
I
that. It's
when I
consistent.
got yeah, it's consistent. And also when I got my first payout, I withdrew all of my funds from my personal account, which was over 100K. I was like, I'm not going back here. It's only for funds for now, from now on.
Definitely, I can understand that actually. And it gives me joy to actually think about the fact that there is a thing outside, like prop firms, there's a thing outside that allows us to leverage some amount of money and then get more profits than we could ever make with our own capital. I'm also a trader, so this is actually
Yes,
mind blowing to me, the type of this business and everything about it. I just love it because it's
yeah,
really profitable if you are a good trader. But obviously, if you're someone who doesn't or who can't control his or her emotions, it's really hard to continue with the prop firms because of the rules, obviously. What do you
yeah.
think was the most difficult thing to overcome in your trading journey? And how did you overcome it at the end? Because you're saying you got 40K of payouts earlier and then 305 3,500 from funding clips. It's really amazing. How did you overcome all those obstacles and found yourself here?
So my main difficulty was to find a strategy of managing funds with top funds. So I was confused. How should I pass the challenges? Should take my time, pass one challenge in 6 months, or take a year, or should I go really hard on them? So I start because I came back to YouTube 1 year ago. So I started listening to the podcast that were from some of them having. So I came to know that some people are risking 4% per trade, some are taking 2% per trade. So it was really boggling my psychology. So when this account that I got the payout from, I was at minus 9% on this account, and then I was like, I'm doing really wrong. I'm just following other people on social media how to trade profits when I know how to trade. So I'm gonna make my own strategy, and I just keep it really slow and steady. So I came back out of that drawdown, past phase one, past phase two, and so far I have like two payouts with funding tips now.
That's quite amazing, actually. And I'm glad
Yeah.
that you continued your trading and got here. And you mentioned about how to pass prop firm challenges. You were researching about it, and let's continue with that. How much do you risk per trade? And if possible, can you share your trading screen with us and show us a couple of your trades and help us understand your point of view so that you can, like explain things more clearly?
Sure, sure. So I risk around 1% per trade in phase one, and in phase two, it's again 1%. I go for 1 to 2 ARA, and in phase two, I just take 1 to 1. So I majorly trade JPY pairs, and in the London session, I take CHF trades. So my strategy is a mix of SMC and technicals. That's what I found better for myself. So I go on to 4 hour and I look for the trend on 4 hour. Like if we are bullish or bearish, I usually follow that Dow theory, higher high, lower high, etc. So before the start of Asian session, I come to the SMC zone, which is like when the Asian session opens, which is usually around 20 New York time. So these are two trades that I took. I will just zoom in and show you in close. So on 4 hour, I tried to predict next 2 to 3 candles. I saw that we were in bullish order flow. So this consolidation candle is accumulation in SNC, and according to my technicals that I use, which are usually support and resistance, simulation SNR. Then I move to 1 hour and look for any points of interest there. And I saw that we had 4 hour support here. I just took placed a trade there and went for 2.5 ARA. Similarly, some days ahead, it was kind of a head and shoulder for me. So I was going for the second shoulder, which was the technical term, the technical trade, the support and resistance and patterns. This way, I went for to predict the next 2 to 3 candles, and I traded this 4 hour candle. Similar trade, I go to 15 minute chart. Sorry, it went away. Where did it go? Yep. Yeah. Just give me a minute. Yep. Here it is.
And you caught that trend actually quite nicely. It's very
Yeah,
consistent, yeah.
that was the trade that I had the payout with on another firm. It's a very recent trade. So I see that it was clear resistance here. So when I saw this bearish engulfing, I took a entry at the 50% of this candle and went for 1 to 4 hour because it was the second head of the second shoulder. So I knew that there's gonna be a lot of momentum downside, and that's what I went for. So usually I trade just a mix of SMC and technicals. If there's some pattern, I try to take entry on SMC, and if there are SMC stuff, I just take some entry on Malaysian SNR. It's a mixture of what works for me.
I understand that because it's really important to build your own methods to trade with so that you're comfortable and then you can actually follow your plan. While you're trading, do you ever experience like, let's say that you're losing a trade, but obviously you don't want to lose, and then you take another trade and another trade, that revenge trading feeling. I imagine
Yeah.
that since you look at charts at a 4 hour time frame at first, maybe you don't experience that much, but like, what do you think? What happens in that time?
It used to happen with me before, but now I have a fixed rule that I only take 2 trades per day. So I take one trade in Asia session with the JPY pairs, and I take the second trade in London session with CHF and Euro pairs. So if they work out, they work out. If they don't, they don't. And that's max for me 2 trades. Before
I
it used to happen when I was on 1 minute time frame. There were like 4 or 5 trades, and with crypto, I was losing the whole account in like 1 hour.
I understand that because we can actually lose an account in 1 hour. And let's say
Yeah,
that the account blows for 5% drawdown, right? But in
true.
1 hour, it's really, really hard to, pass a challenge or make 5%. So, how is it that
Exactly.
we actually believe that we can blow an account in like 1 hour, like making minus 5%, but it's really hard to believe making 5% gain on an account or like being a profit. So you're saying that you have some rules, you're taking only three trades a day, but what I'm asking is different. How do you actually comply with that plan, comply with that discipline? How do you actually stop yourself from taking more trades? Like, I don't know, fighting your own demons, fighting that urge to take more trades, or like, it's going high, I have to open a buy position, or stuff like that. How do you manage to stop yourself?
I guess when I started journaling like 4 years ago, I came to know that whenever I took more than 2 trades, it's just in my nature that I'm going downhill now. So if I place a trade, I don't make it break even. I don't go to early close it. I just leave it open, and that's how it works. Yeah, and I guess I've been trading so long now that it does not affect me anymore. In the early ages, journaling helped a lot.
That's actually a nice advice because I specifically asked this question since you have been trading for 6 years and you found yourself a strategy that works for you. So I was really curious, how would you advise to other traders to overcome their urge to revenge trade? So I
Yeah.
think it's an
On
important point.
on my personal account, I was taking like 2 to 3 trades per month, but now on prop firms, I'm taking like two trades minimum or maximum per day. So it's actually a lot for me. So I don't feel like taking revenge trading or placing a lot of trades. It's a
Makes
lot of
sense.
trading already. Yeah.
That actually makes sense to me. And while we're at it, at your trading journey, how was your experience with funding pips?
It's actually quite pretty good. The spreads are very nice and always got my money on time. Nothing can complain for.
That's an important aspect.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the spreads are pretty good and yeah, now they are moving towards C traders, so I'm waiting for that. Max trader is having some bugs.
But you're currently trading on Match Trader, right?
Yes, I'm currently trading on Max trader.
I understand. You can always like switch once if your account has been moved to Match Trader from MetaTrader 5.
Yeah,
So I think it's a nice aspect that they allow us to actually change platforms so that we can decide for
yeah,
ourselves
yeah,
actually. So
yeah.
you've been trading for 6 years and apparently it's going well for you. How much funded capital do you have at the moment?
I have been around 700K and I have 300K in challenges. So
That's
altogether
perfect.
1 million.
And
Yeah,
how is your pass rate? Like you buy 10 challenges and how much likely do you pass?
I have bought 12 challenges altogether and I have failed
Amazing.
two. So I would say 80%, around 85%. Yeah. I don't fail
Amazing.
challenges.
Amazing.
Yeah, because because of trading personal capital, I'm more prone towards my own money. So I don't want to use even waste $500 on a challenge.
That makes sense, but even if you
Yeah,
only pass one challenge out of 10, you can still make money to cover all your investment and then even maybe be in profit. So it makes sense to me. Like everyone's
yeah,
journey is quite different. And
yeah.
from what
If
I see, you're making good for yourself.
Yeah, if I get like over 2 million, then I would go really aggressive on it, like risking 2%. But so far it's only 1%. And when I'm down minus 5% in drawdown, then I lower my risk to 0.5%. And when I'm down 7.5% on a challenge, I go down to 0.25%.
That makes sense. And that's
Yeah.
actually an interesting topic. So let's talk about your journey when you are in a drawdown. Like, what do you do when you're in a drawdown? Do you change your risk percentage per trade, or how do you maintain that mentality? And how do you stay calm and keep trading your strategy without messing it up?
So usually I lower down my risk when I go down into drawdown, and also I like to set my trades on break even. Let's say if I took a trade and it's a 1 to 2 hour trade. So on JPY pairs, they most of the times they give one directional moves. So what I would do is after 1.5 hour, I will just set my stop loss to break even and then let it run for over a day or after 2 days, I will look at it. And it's usually quite high percentage. So when I lower my risk, I go for even higher RRs. So that's how I come out of my drawdown really quick. And considering the amount of money I lost in my early age, like back in crypto and forex, it I learned a lot of lessons from it. So when I'm in profits, like if I'm 5% up, a lot of people still tell me to go 2% or 3% of the capital, but I still take 1% and I don't increase my risk.
Oh,
So
it takes
a dollar saved
it
is
takes a
better than a
strong
dollar lost.
mind. Oh, it takes a
Yeah,
strong mind not to deviate from your trading plan and your risk
yeah,
percentage. Oh, that's really an important aspect. I'm glad you do so because, oh, yeah, a lot of traders in drawdown, like they usually tend to care less about the account or get more emotional or try to get out of the drawdown faster than they usually make profits. So it usually ends up losing the account. So
yeah.
that's why I'm asking a profitable trader how they manage their emotions when they're in drawdown. And I guess what you said, is quite important. One aspect is just so important. You're trading JPY, and it's really clear that in the charts, if it moves on a direction, really,
Yeah.
maybe it's like really rare that it actually like retests again that entry area, and then it makes sense to place the break even. So
Yeah.
and that's smart. And you found yourself a nice plan that actually works. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
quite good.
Same with CHF pairs. I find that they don't even ICT people like they call it FCG and order blocks. Yeah, those pairs just never give any retracement. They just shoot in one direction or slowly over the whole week. They'll just go up or they'll just keep going down. So when the trend is
Exactly.
clear for me, I take trade in that direction. And also because of this social media, I guess people when they are in drawdown like -5%, -6%, they now they're getting very comfortable with losing the account because they think, oh, I can just buy another challenge and I'm already in positive risk to reward ratio with my money that I'm spending on challenges. But if I was -9% on this funding tips challenge and I already had 400K in my funding. So I asked myself, like, if I lose this challenge, then like if I go all in trade news or something like that, then what I'm gonna get out of it? Because it's not a good practice and it's gonna ruin my discipline in trading. So I just traded that account like it's my only account, and that's how I trade my all accounts.
That's
That
good
if they're my
advice.
personal accounts, yeah.
That's actually good advice. You talk about like JPY pairs and then CHF pairs. I mean, do you have specific pairs that you trade? Let's say that you only trade USD JPY or like Euro CHF. Do you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
specific pairs, or do you just check them all and see if it corresponds with your strategy?
I only trade JPY and CHF pairs. So Euro JPY, GBP JPY, AJ, CAD JPY, and likewise with CHF pairs,
And
GBP
why is
CHF.
and why is that? Not to divert your focus, or
Actually, early in my time, I was reading a book. I can't remember its name, but it was about seasonal tendencies. And they also the author also talked about the seasonal behavior of the pairs. So I know, I understand that every pair and every market has a behavior of its own. Just like crypto, it moves like sky and night, a lot of pockets up and there. So that's how I came to know that I need to look into a pair or find a pair which makes sense to me. So that's when I started looking into every pairs, and I found that USD pairs had a lot of manipulation in them. There was a lot of news, and they were just very complex. So then I looked into JPY pairs, and even the red folder news for JPY and CHF pairs doesn't make a lot of big movement. So they just look very good. They follow very good Dow theory, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and you just keep riding it. There's not much manipulation. While
exactly
when I
you
was
can.
trading Euro USD, it was very slow, and a lot of the time it looks like consolidating to me. But there were some traders who were making profits out of it, but it didn't suit me. So I found their behavior, how they work, and after trading them for I traded started trading them for 2 years, and I'm profitable with them.
It only depends on the trader actually. Some of them make
Yeah,
money in Euro USD, and some of them make money in gold, some of them in JPY pairs. I definitely understand those differences and the reasons why behind it, because from what I can see, you like to check your charts on a higher time frame at first so that you can know
yeah,
the direction and then move to lower time frames. But for a lot of day traders trading Euro USD, they usually start checking the charts on lower time frames. So it's maybe easier for them to see small movements and then trade them.
yeah,
So it
yeah. It's
definitely
possible.
yeah, it depends on the
My
strategy. So yours
yeah,
work, and if you can actually catch the trend at the beginning with JPY pairs, like you have said before, the move is crazy. So
yeah,
definitely, like the
yeah.
strategy should be compatible with the personality of the trader. So I definitely understand
Exactly, yeah.
that.
My win rate with USD pairs is very bad. Like I would say my win rate is 2% with USD pairs.
That
So
much?
yeah, yeah,
No, I
it's
don't
very
believe
less.
that.
No, I exaggerated it, but yeah, I don't touch them.
Oh my god. So I think that's actually true that everyone has to find themselves a pair that actually fits their personality so that they can
Yeah,
actually be profitable. So for the audience, if you're not profitable yet, maybe try to check other pairs and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
find something. Maybe other movements are your type of trading, and maybe you can find other pairs more compatible with your strategy. So it might be a good advice actually. And while we're at it, as a successful trader, if you could give some advices to other traders out there, what would they be?
I would say the first one is journaling. It's very, very important because a lot of the times when we don't journal and we just take trades, we do journal, but in our mind that, oh, it was a bad day today, or I'm plus 2 RR today. But if we write it down, we can actually know that how many percentage of wins we are missing because of early closing, or when we see that the price is in drawdown, we close it and it shoots to the TP. So setting rules and following the rules through journaling is very important. Secondly, I would say that finding edge is more important than good psychology. I guess that we are too focused on social media, on psychology, that we don't even have an actual edge. And when the edge is there, you have the access the edge, then psychology doesn't affect you because you have seen it say over and over again with high risk to reward and high percentage win rate. If it's there, then you get comfortable with it. So definitely find your edge and do general your trade.
That's actually a different advice. Usually, from what I get from traders, they focus mostly on psychology. They say, I've been trying to find a strategy that works for me, but my mentality was keeping me, at the back. So, this is the first time I hear a trader saying that the edge is more important than the mentality, than the psychology.
Yeah,
So, it's really different for me to comprehend from what I have been hearing
yeah,
around. So I definitely respect that idea. And you make a good point. It's maybe you don't have an edge. And that's
yes,
actually quote unquote, that's actually a perfect thing to realize. Maybe we don't have an edge and maybe we're not profitable because of that. Um,
yeah,
but if I may add one more thing for to what you have just said, you mentioned that if you like improve your edge over time, you know that it's profitable, so that your psychology is getting used to the fact that you're going to make profit.
yes.
How do you think that comes with it? Do you think it's really important to backtest and get that experience, or just watching the charts on real time and taking maybe small challenges and trying out for themselves? Which one do you think can help traders actually apply what you have just suggested?
So I would give my personal example on it. So what I used to do that I had a very bad strategy that I made myself, and it always used I used to hold it for like 1 day or 2 days until it hits my stop loss, and then I used to say, oh, because I took 2% risk, maybe I should take 1% risk, and I risk too much. And then the third day, I would again take that trade and I would close it in half. So I would say that, oh, my psychology is bad. I didn't let it run to my stop loss. It could go to the TP. So then I started journaling my trades and I found that the strategy was not good. And when I changed my strategy, I still had those problems, but on journaling, I found that I closed my trade on 1 hour, but after that, it went to 2 hour. So the problem was not in the trading, the problem was in me that I was closing those trades. So a combination of an edge with journaling is what I found is the perfect combination for trading.
Oh, I definitely understand that. And that's pretty good advice. And thank you so much for it. I really enjoyed this interview because you made some good points that are different from what we have been hearing on social media. So it was really nice to hear about your opinions about
Yeah,
Edge. So thank you very much for joining this interview and sharing your journey. It's really inspiring. And thank you everyone who's watching right now. I hope you actually gain some knowledge from this interview, and I hope you can apply these advices to your trading journey and be profitable like Ahmed here. Thank you, Ahmed, for joining, and thanks everyone for
Thank
watching. And I'll see you guys on the next interview.